In this video, I'm going to talk to you guys kind of like the next 3 months of programming and kind of how I've periodized it out. And again, this is the type of thing that I think is incredibly valuable for you guys as members and for people who care about progression and just want to know, what we're doing on the programming side to ensure efficiency and just the best results. And obviously, if you approach it as efficiently as you can, with as much distinction as possible, the better opportunity you guys have to see that progression and feel that progression. And that's what I care about. And at the end of the day, again, those of you that know me well, all I care about is training and being a trainer and helping as many people as possible take steps physically, and I always say mentally as well, forward. So this works really well, this video, because the whole point of the last couple of months and the coming months, which I'm about to go over, was to teach you guys about floor and ceiling, and not just teach you what they are, but on an individual level. This seems like the best way, and I think it's working. I've had a lot of feedback on people starting to understand what they're capable of on each piece of equipment, the aerobic side, of course. This block of months, which will be 5 months total, flows really well, and I'm breaking it up month by month in a progressional manner that I'm hoping makes sense to everybody that's been participating in it, or maybe that's hopping in now, or maybe just starting to pay attention a little bit more. If you are, or you have been, these next 3 months, I'm hoping this video really clarifies what's coming and what the expectation is, and you guys can start to see it in a more distinct kind of layer by layer level in the programming, day in, day out, or week in and week out, etc., as we go. So as most of you know, December was floor and ceiling month. The whole point of that month was just to teach you guys the difference between the two, and start to give you kind of a novice idea of what you're capable of in both realms, on each piece of equipment, the best we could, right? Obviously, it's group fitness. There's a lot of you guys. Some of you come more than others. Some of you hit certain days more than others. So it's volatile, to say the least. But like I said, I think that kind of softly set us in the right direction. This month of January has been just floor work. It's been, I think, fantastic. I think this month has been very valuable. Again, like I said previously, I've heard this from a lot of people, myself included, our trainers. Like a lot of people have just learned what it means to do floor work and where their optimal percentages are, zones are, hanging out in that 50 to 70% range, and just getting a better feel for not only what those numbers translate to on each piece of equipment, but how you guys transition into different modalities from those particular pieces of equipment and outputs, and how it's going to flow past that. And I'm not going to read all these out. If you want to take a screenshot of this or just read them yourself, you can. But the quick little breakdown is February is going to be aerobic floor and fundamental strength. This has been on the monitor for a couple days now in the lobby. We always put these on the monitor for you guys that do care about this type of stuff. But to relay that a little bit stronger and give you a better explanation, deeper explanation, is we're going to take the aerobic floor work you've been doing all of January, and now we're going to intertwine that with the aerobic stuff. So what that means is that your traditional fundamental strength is the 8 to 12 rep count range, right around that 60 to 90 second rest. Anytime we do any of the primary lifts, that's kind of what we're aiming to do. And in this month, we're gonna, not all the time, but a lot of it, we're still gonna do the 8 to 12 reps. So the expectation is you guys are gonna use your normal 50 to 60% weight, depending on the lift, of course. Stay within that 8 to 12 rep count range, but your rests often, again, not always, are going to be now turned into aerobic work. Floor work is the goal. So we're kind of moving you through zone 2 for the most part, hopefully not really tapping into zone 3, keeping you below that 70% output, and expecting you to maintain your normal weight. So it's really going to force you guys, especially those of you that still struggle to stay below that 70%, to stay at below 70% and start to get a better idea of what that really is. Because if you don't, it's going to strongly affect what the expectation is, which is for you to hold your normal 8 to 12 rep count range weight. And again, you're not going to get the static dead rest. You're going to be expected to hang out in that floor zone 2 range and transition in and out of your sets. You're going to see this in a lot of different ways. I've been finding kind of more unique ways to approach this and structures. So it's not always just like, do a set, work, your rest is now a 1 minute run and then do another set. Like, you're going to see that in the beginning to give you guys an opportunity to kind of see what that feels like. But there are more unique ways coming that we can challenge this and while maintaining the expectation and the efficiency of the entire month. So that's February. I'm excited about that. I think it'd be really cool. I think it's an easy way to transition from floor now into something, the next step forward. And then March, we're going to kind of take a step back in terms of the aerobic floor. We're still going to do aerobic work. Let's not get this twisted. I know people are going to be like, you said we're only doing strength. Like, no, we're obviously going to do aerobic work. But this is going to go back to what you guys are used to, a little bit more on the strength side first, really targeting that and kind of separating it from the aerobic work. But we're going to increase the weight. So we're really going to have a true strength focus where you're kind of talking like that 5 to 8 rep count range, increasing your percentages, obviously, with the applicable exercises. And not necessarily putting aerobic stuff on the back burner, but just separating the two. So kind of like oil and watering it a little bit. And then when we get to April, which I'm excited about, it's a long ways away, but I'm excited about the concept of this coming to fruition here, is that we're going to take what we did in March, and when you guys have a better understanding of what those 5 to 8 rep types of weights are for obviously certain movements, we're going to take that and put it under fatigue. So now we're going to kind of test your strength. We're going to test your conditioning, your muscular conditioning, and see how it works under fatigue. So you can probably get the concept of what that means. Like now we're going to do, hypothetically, running, and the expectation, similar to February, is to maintain your weights under that fatigue at that lower rep count range with the elevated weights. So we're really going to start to challenge you. So I do think this 3-month progression is necessary. I think it'll work really well if it's done appropriately, which obviously falls on me and then trainers, distributing that to you guys and setting the expectation straight. But I'm hoping you guys, as we work our way through these next 3 months, still to finish January, of course, you guys can kind of see how the programming looks from like a macro view, and get a better, maybe not appreciation, but appreciation for what you're doing every day, and how it differs from just working out. And that's kind of my goal, is to give you guys that. I think that's what you guys pay for. I want us to be known as that, not just sporadic working out and checking boxes, as that you guys have a plan, a goal, and it's periodized out to be as efficient as possible. At the end of the day, that being all said, you can always just come in and work out and listen to nothing we say. I say that all the time. It is group fitness, as I say. So hopefully some of you guys enjoy this. You look forward to it. You enjoy the programming. Obviously, let me know your feedback. And yeah, hopefully this helps.